Hey guys, I'm Steve, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create the materials and light this anime house that we made in the previous video. I really recommend watching it before this one. I'll put the link in the description. The project file is available for free on picophilics.com. As you can see, our model doesn't have any materials yet. So let's start by creating a new material for the roof tiles. First, make sure to enable the Node Wrangler add-on in the Blender Preferences. Let's go to the Shading tab and create a new material for these roof tiles. Press Shift-A and search for a noise texture and add it. Then, add a Voronoi texture and a color ramp as well. We'll make most of our materials with these three nodes. Change the Voronoi texture to Smooth F1. Connect the noise texture to the smoothness of the Voronoi texture. Connect the color value of the Voronoi to the color ramp and the color ramp to the color value of the principled BSDF. Duplicate the color ramp with Shift-D and put it after the noise texture. Now, you can change the colors with this color ramp. I'm using my color palette and just copying the hex values. You can also download this color palette from the link in the description. As you can see, now we have a nice texture for our model. We can adjust the values and the color ramp of the noise texture to add more details and edit the smoothness of our texture. Also, you can change the Voronoi type to Manhattan to have a different kind of texture. With the Node Wrangler add-on enabled, you can select the Voronoi texture and press Ctrl-T. You'll have a set of useful nodes. Let's add a mix color node and plug it into the scale of the mapping node. Copy this color ramp and noise texture, plug it into the scale of the mapping node, and change the first color to white. You can now control the distortion amount with this color ramp. I changed the texture coordinate from generated to object. I also changed the roughness to maximum in the principled BSDF. These are the values that I used for this material. The rest of the materials that I used in this project are very similar to this one. I just changed the color and adjusted the values a little. Before I show you the rest of the materials, I'd like to create another material like this one for having more variations in the roof tiles. In the Material tab, click on the plus button and then click on this icon to duplicate the material. You can change the name of this material here. I just changed the colors of this color ramp. Now go to Edit mode by pressing the Tab button. Go to Face Select and hover your mouse over the random tiles and hit A to select them. Now select this new material and click on the Assign button to assign the material to the selected tiles. Now we can set this material to the other roof tiles as well. Now let's create a material for these parts. In the shader editor, let's select the material that we just created, duplicate it, and change the name. I changed the colors and duplicated all of the nodes up here. Add a mix shader node and plug these shaders into it. Change these colors as well. I also added an ambient occlusion node with a color ramp and plugged it into the factor of the mix shader. This will add a bit of darkness in the corners. You can pause the video and see the final values that I used for this material. For the rest of the materials, I created them similarly to the ones we just made. I made materials for the walls, wood, and the door, and you can see them here. For the lamps, we'll use an emission shader with a color ramp and a gradient texture. In the mapping node, you can rotate the texture 90 degrees. I also created a simple glass shader for the windows by mixing a transparent BSDF and a principled BSDF. I reduced the roughness value and set the transmission weight to 1. This will create a nice frosted glass material. For lighting the scene, I added a sunlight and changed the color to a light blue. Then, I adjusted the rotation of the sun to create some interesting shadows. In the world properties, you can import an HDRI or just change the color to a dark blue and reduce the strength a bit. I created a more advanced world shader for this project, and it will be included in the project file. If you'd like to know how I created it, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video for it as well. Now, let's add an area light and change its color to a nice yellow. Adjust the strength value as needed. I also added another one with a purple color to create a nice contrast. In the render properties, make sure you enable the ray tracing option. It will greatly improve your results. I also added some point lights for the lamps. I created a simple grass hill with geometry nodes, and it has a nice wind animation as well. If you're interested, let me know in the comments, and I'll show you how I made it in another video. We end the video with this final rendering. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you followed this tutorial, I would be really happy to see your results. Stay creative, and I'll see you in the next video.